Hey guys, we won! I'm so excited. Hey guys, we won! I'm so excited. Okay, let me turn that off. Oh my gosh, how are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling? If you're in the comment section, let me know how you're feeling. We just won the North London Derby. I am ecstatic. I am so freaking happy. Again, if you're in the comment section, let me know how you're feeling. Insane. Absolutely insane. I'm so excited. If you're in the comment section, let me know how you're feeling. Wow. North London is red. Okay. If you're in the comment section, come on, you guys get in there. Just waiting for more people to come. Okay. So difficult. You guys. If you're in the comment section, just tell me how you're feeling. Right, let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to the She Knows Arsenal match review or match reaction on the whistle. We just won the North London Derby 2-1 and I am ecstatic. I can't lie and say that I was super confident before the game, but I did think that the overreaction or overly dramatic commentary that was coming from, especially in the US, the commentary was very like, Spurs are overwhelming favorites. Arsenal have absolutely nothing that they can do to them. We have a better defense than them. So I'm not quite sure why they felt like Arsenal didn't have anybody that could hurt them. But ultimately, even the game started out with some negativity especially from commentary, which I thought was really weird with Aubameyang. This weird thing about, hey, well, if they really want to win this game, Arteta will just forget about Aubameyang, not doing what he's supposed to be doing. But Lee Dixon said it, if you're late to practice, or you're late to a meeting, everybody needs to be punished the same. So the commentary didn't start out great, but from the minute that we started, we were dominating that game. The combination of Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Saka was like beautiful. It worked perfectly. And the performance was just so good. And they're such young players to be able to like come into a North London Derby and play the way that they did it was amazing to see. And I think that, regardless of the negativity that was kind of being perpetuated before the match, we showed them that it's not just about Aubameyang. Like, first of all, we've been playing without Aubameyang and without Aubameyang's goals pretty much the entire season. So it's not that big of a deal that he's not playing. When I did kind of like a match preview for this, I personally felt as though this was a Lacazette, Pepe, Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe type of game because I thought the quick movement would have been a lot better to shift around the Spurs defenders because they're not good. And so I wasn't too put off by the fact that Lacazette started. And I just think it went perfectly the exact way that we wanted it to go, But let me get into some of your guys' comments. You guys let me know how you guys are feeling about this game. Wolfgame Grenier says, huzzah. It was stressful. It was very stressful. But what North London derby isn't? I think this, in recent history, for me, this was the most exciting one. By a lot, so it was very stressful, but big games are stressful. Ayob A says, good win for Arsenal. Spurs were dead overall. And, I know that the commentary will be that Spurs didn't show up, but a lot of it had to do with the fact that the way that we set up and our energy made them uninterested in trying to have to play us. It's not just like, it's the coach's tactics has a lot to do with how a team moves forward. And I think Arteta out-coached Jose Mourinho today. So the commentary will be that these players just didn't show up, but ultimately these players, they knew. Kane, Son in the beginning, Bale, they knew that we had their number. The tactics took them completely out of the game. Flo Lasenak says, get in, North London is red. It is. The Spurs fans were so freaking confident before this game. And although I wasn't overly confident about us winning the game, I was like, I think it's a lot more even than it's being kind of built up around. Like, it was more Spurs are overwhelming favorites and Arsenal have no chance. But I was like, their recent uptick in form was just like 2 minutes ago. They haven't been great the entire season and they haven't been playing anybody. So, and we're a much better team than Crystal Palace, Burnley, Wolfsburg. These are the teams that they beat, so it wasn't going to be a walk in the park for them. Das Kuma says, up the Gunners. Exactly. Yes, I am feeling so good. Like, I'm feeling so good. Cathal Lynch says, come on, you Gunners, my chest. Yes, like, I am so happy, you guys. Like, I know you guys are too. This is probably our biggest win of the season. Velocinex says, feel like I just ran a marathon. Yes, there were moments where I was like almost on the verge of tears because I just felt like if we could just get this over the line, this would be big for us. Carl Hungus says, and breathe out. Exactly. Conlip says, those last 5 minutes though, where from? Where did those 5 minutes in stoppage time, where did those come from? Like, where did those come from? I was like, they're just trying to give them another opportunity to win this game. And I mean, we did give them opportunities, but it didn't work. Carl Hungus asks, who's the man of the match for me? It's really a tough one because I really could give it to a couple of different people. I think Smith Rowe was excellent today. I think Odegaard was unplayable today. And he was getting stuck in as well, which is not really a part of his game. So, he was hyped up for this. I thought Thomas Partey and Xhaka were immense today. And so was Gabrielle and Tierney too. So you guys let me know who your man of the match is. I think I want to give it to Smith Rowe. I just think he had Dougherty on toast and he was really the player that we were talking about at halftime, and how good he was. So I think it has to be Emile Smith Rowe, but it could be Tierney. It could be Gabrielle for the clearance off the goal line. It could be Thomas Partey. I mean, he was immense. I mean, if you had any questions about why we spent $45 million on this player, today reminded you he is huge in big games. And could we say anything about Højbjerg? This is somebody that Spurs have been saying, oh, he's one of the best players for this entire season, one of the transfers of the season. No, Thomas Partey is one of the transfers of the season. Højbjerg was a joke today. Their midfield was non-existent. And that's because you had Thomas Partey and Xhaka who decided that they were going to take advantage of, they were going to basically own the midfield, and it wasn't just about, in possession, it was out of possession as well. And they made some really, really big tackles. So you can make a case for quite a bit of players, but I think it has to be Emile Smith Rowe. Partey was fading towards the end, still has some work to do to get back to 100%. But for the first 60 minutes, he was immense. He is not at full fitness, but for him to play as well as he did in a really important game, he faded towards the end, but I have to say that he made a huge difference today. I don't think you get the same result with Danny Ceballos or El Neni. Nick Lawson says, do you think Kane should have been set? Yes. Okay, so that was one of the moments where I was so close to crying, because it was like that I'm about to cry because I can't hit somebody kind of thing. Like, I wasn't sad, but I was so angry because what Harry Kane did after the ball had been kicked from Gabriel was, if an Arsenal player had done that, it would have been looked at over and over and over again until it became a red card. And he didn't even get a yellow for it. But justice was served when Lamela got the red card. Das Kuma says, ESR was great. He really, really was. I mean, and I think for a longer term kind of thought process, it's important for us to be able to see that Emile Smith-Rowe and Odegaard can play together. I think that was a huge kind of, there's a lot of anxiety in the fan base about Odegaard coming in and ESR being pushed to the bench. But if they can both play together, that's really, really good for us. And personally, I think he adds something that Willian doesn't really give us on that left-hand side. Eob A says, do you think Lacazette had a poor game overall, especially if he hadn't scored today? I think he did what Lacazette does in that position. I was furious when I think it was Emile Smith-Rowe crossed the ball in, and he looked like he ran over the ball. I don't know if somebody called for it or something, but when you're the striker, you take that shot on, and it looked like he was devoid of confidence. And that tends to happen with Lacazette. If he doesn't play for a while, he's devoid of confidence. And I think we're looking to upgrade on him in the summer, so I'm not going to slag him off too hard. You know, he did work hard. He did pressure. He did win us some fouls, but you know, I wouldn't, if we had not won this game, I think he'd be more of a topic of conversation. Chris Mundy says ESR man of the match. I agree. Carl Hungus says ESR for me. Yep, I think so. Devil Short says, you are the man of the match. Keep up the good work, Smith-Rowe, Odegaard. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Thank you. And yeah, I'm just going to keep working, and I'm just happy that you guys like to watch my stuff. Nick Lawson says, exactly. Imagine if it was Xhaka who did that. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing, is they got away with a lot of stuff, but to me, justice was served, you know, once Lamela got kicked out of the game. I did think we looked strange, you know, once Spurs went down to 10 men. I was a little taken aback by how much we decided to kind of sit back. That invited the chances. It invited those scary, you know, chances from Kane. And I would like to see us be a little bit more confident. You know, we're up a goal. Spurs haven't really done anything. And I think we kind of invited them back into the game. And there was a sense of nervousness from the team that you could kind of see, you know, once they went down to 10 men and there was about 10 minutes left. Wolfgang Grenier says, I really like Xhaka Thomas pairing today. I think the pairing has been good the entire season. It's just the problem is that Thomas has never been fit, you know, but the balance that they have is good for us. You know, it's good for us. And as much as I think we all understand that Xhaka may not be the player for the future, I don't think we can deny how good he's been lately, even despite the mistake at Burnley. And Thomas and Xhaka kind of share responsibility, and that's important because Xhaka had too much responsibility on him before. And when you give him just a couple of things to do, you know, and to try to do well, he does a lot better. You know, so I'm not mad at this partnership. You know, we have to remember that things may be tight in the summer. You know, we may not have a huge transfer kitty, you know, so if we can make the resources that we have work, that's good. You know, so not saying that Xhaka's here for the long haul or that's how we should build our team for the future. But if they can build a solid partnership and play like this consistently, then I have no problem with it. Nick Lawson says, we seem to play poorly when we have some form of advantage against inferior teams like Benfica, Olympiacos, or when Spurs went down to 10 men. We seem to play best when facing adversity. I do kind of agree with that. I think we don't deal with domination well and superiority. So I do agree with you. And I think that that's just something that this team is going to have to work through. You know, we're going to be a possession-based, possession-dominant team. So we have to get used to being the team that has the impetus to try to make things happen. And when we go up a goal, we need to not just go into our shell and become scared, but I have noticed that there's a little bit of like a lack of confidence when we go up a goal or we're playing a lower level team. And I think that'll go away over time, because I think that the Arsenal team of a couple months ago, if we had been in this game, well, we saw that in December. We just got played right off the park. And this was a completely different performance from this team. So I think we're making steps one by one. So yeah, I don't know, you guys, I'm just basking in it. I'm so excited. And I think that, again, with the negativity kind of from the jump, it didn't really set the stage for this type of performance. Like, I didn't really think that this is what would happen. I didn't think it would be Spurs running all over us, like the commentary was saying, but I'm pleasantly surprised at what I saw today. And I want to talk about somebody in particular who I thought, even though a lot of people were saying that, it's unfair that he didn't start, I just think when he came on the field, he had a good energy, and that's Nicola Pepe. This is a player that I think has had a very difficult year as an Arsenal player. And, he's done really well since Christmas, but he's kind of fallen away and fallen out of the starting lineup as things have progressed. But what I like about what he did today was he came in with an energy that we didn't see from him in the past, and he has done that in the last couple of games as a sub. And that's really good progress for Pepe. That pass that he put into Lacazette, we don't get the penalty if he doesn't put in that pass. And I just think that I'm very happy to see that a player that we've been so unsure about is giving us something to look forward to. And I would like to see him stay at this point. I know that I've been critical of him, but we need different types of players for different types of, situations. And it's not a big deal if he doesn't play every single game, but when he comes off the bench, he needs to make a difference. And he did that today. He really, really did. He was even decent off of the bench against Olympiacos. He was really good off of the bench against Burnley. So I'm just really happy for him, and I'm just hoping that this is a turning point for him as an Arsenal player, because I would like to see him stay. I would. I think he has a certain type of talent that can't be coached. It can't be taught. And if he could get better at the basics, he'll be really good for us. Daskuma says that Pepe pass to Laka in the box was immense. It was. It really, really was. There was a couple of key moments from certain players that made the difference. That was one of them, and the goal line clearance from Gabriel was the second one. Thoughts on the penalty? Finally, VAR does its freaking job. It awards us a penalty that we were more than entitled to. We were entitled to it, but Pepe, the pass that he made, that is a class pass, and on another day, and maybe even another striker finishes that right away, but we got the penalty, and that's really what all that matters. So finally, we get justice, on another day, we don't get awarded that penalty. Lamela doesn't get sent off, and it's just complete bullshit, so I think things went our way today. Hey, Aslan. Thank you for being here. You're always here, and you always give really good comments, so thank you for showing up. Chris Mundy says, Muppets on UK TV saying it wasn't. I don't care what they think. I don't care what they think. They spent yesterday and today talking about how Kane and Bale and Son were going to rip us apart. We're joint highest for best defense in the league with Chelsea. Spurs is not up there. So I have a hard time understanding why they would think that front three can kill our defense, but our front four can't do anything to them. They have Davis and Sanchez back there. Today they had Alderweireld, but they could have had Dyer. He's crap, and Dougherty was a joke. So I don't care what they're saying. I really, really don't. We should have had a penalty from Burnley. Justice is served. We deserved it because at some point, they need to start calling the right things for us. Period. So I don't care what they say. They're all a joke. I was very, very upset about the commentary. The commentary in the U.S. was absolutely lazy and crap before this game. So we deserve this. Aslan says, I'm not Arteta's biggest fan. Today he got everything right. Team selection and subs, no complaints. And that's the thing, you guys. When he gets it right, we give him credit. When he gets it wrong, then, we can dissect it and all that kind of stuff. But before the game, there were a lot of people that were very upset about Martinelli not being in this game day squad. And I personally just think that Martinelli is a 19-year-old that is coming from the fourth level of Brazilian football. And when he came into the team last season, Arteta had not implemented his system fully. Now that the system is implemented, Martinelli needs to mature and become better tactically and positionally aware. As good as he is and as tenacious and as much energy as he has, it needs to be reined in to a point where it's usable in our system. So I don't blame Arteta for, one, not playing him, and two, protecting him, because the type of injury that he's come back from and the type of explosive player that he is, he's not ready. And we don't need him right now. Stop using these things as a stick to beat Arteta with. We don't need him right now. I get it, and I love Martinelli, but Arteta has been getting it right lately. And the things that have been happening are more individual errors that he has nothing to do with. His substitutions are getting better, so let's just give him credit when credit is deserved, like Aslan is saying. High five, hey. High five says, how far will you back Arteta? For me, he is not the answer. Yeah, so I'm going to back him as long as he's Arsenal manager. If you're the Arsenal manager, I back you. I want you to do well, and I want you to, personally, I don't want to start over. When you bring in another coach, which, you let me know what coach comes in with limited resources, potentially no European football, and cleans up this mess or does a better job than Arteta. But as long as Arteta is the manager, I back him. He's doing well. He's making mistakes. He's learning on the job. And that's what you should expect when you bring in a coach that's never coached before. I'm not saying that he's perfect, but what I'm saying is that there's a lot of unnecessary criticism from people that just never wanted him in the first place. But he's here now, so let's just back him. Paul Toner says, on Martinelli, I completely agree. He needs to learn the tactical side of the game more. And as you mentioned, back from a long-term injury. It's so funny because before the game started, all the Martinelli talk came through because David Ornstein reported on it. And, he said he wasn't in the game day squad, but what he also said is that he's a part of Arteta's long-term plans. But that's never talked about. He's a part of the plans. Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette will probably be gone next season. Hopefully, I'm not saying hopefully, but they probably will be gone. That immediately opens up more chances for Martinelli. He's 19 years old, and we're under immense pressure. Why put that type of pressure on a 19-year-old? He's not Saka. He's coming back from a horrendous injury. And the kid gets injured in warm-ups because he's trying so hard. We need to we need to harness his energy, get him used to playing in these tactics, and he will get time. I'm not worried about it. There's nothing to worry about. I just don't understand what the stress level is. If you're worried about whether or not Arteta rates him, I think he does. I think he said it multiple times that he likes Martinelli. He's a part of the long-term goal. So let's just relax a little bit, Ayob A says, who are the core players Arsenal should build around for next season? I think for sure it's Emile Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, Pepe, Thomas Partey, Kieran Tierney, and Gabriel. Gabriel needs a partner. Tierney, obviously an immense player for us. The midfield needs to be built around Thomas and possibly Odegaard if he stays. And Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe / Pepe need the right striker to play with. So I think we kind of know what our core is. It's the younger players that continuously step up for us in these types of games, Hi, F Society 04. Hey. By the way, I'm an LFC fan. Okay. If you are, that's cool. Philosinac says, are the last 10 minutes concerning or just a sign that we're not ready? We're not already where we want to be? I think it's concerning and it's an indication that we're not where we want to be. A couple months ago, that game is a tie or a loss. This time it's a nervous 10 minutes. We're still building. We're definitely not where we want to be. We have a hard time owning our dominance, if that makes sense. And you could just tell that when we got to those last 10 minutes, we got really nervous. And I think we'll learn over time. And as we continue to get results like this, it's just like, winning, coming back against Benfica. It's just like coming back against Leicester. When you get those types of games under your belt and you start to see that, like firsthand that you can come back from behind or you can win big games, then the nervousness is not there as much as it was before. So the more that we play in big games and we win them, the more the team will believe and those nervous jitters will go away. Aslan says, not sure if you've spoken about Abba's situation. As a captain, he needs to set a better example. Arteta was 100% correct to ask him from the starting 11 and for him not to get a game time today. Lee Dixon said that when George Graham came in, it was the exact same thing. It was very authoritarian-like and by the rules. And he also said that if the team meeting is at 10 o'clock, the time to get there is 10 to 10 minutes prior. They also spoke about how this isn't the first time. What kind of example are you setting as the captain of the football club if you don't think it's important to be on time for a team meeting the day of a North London derby? The commentary was completely overblown and quite frankly idiotic. Arteta did absolutely nothing wrong today. Aubameyang was in the wrong today. 110%. You need to be on time. So now the players that, again, like you guys have asked, we should be building our team around, which is not Aubameyang, now know what precedent is set at this club. What are the requirements to play for Arsenal Football Club? Yeah, you need to be on time. Just because you're the captain and you're our main goal scorer doesn't mean that you get to be late. And I'm glad that we won the game and he was sitting there looking like he was salty. I mean, that's just unacceptable for a captain. I don't think Arteta did anything wrong today. I agree, Aslan. Paul Toner says, exactly, Martinelli will be third, maybe second choice striker, third choice left wing, and third choice right wing. Plenty of minutes available to him next season to develop. I personally think so. I think that Arteta just knows we don't need him right now, and it's better for him to be physically and mentally ready to play next season when there's more opportunities for him to play. So it's really not that big of a deal in my mind. I just think that no matter if there's a player that's being left out, it's used as a stick to beat Arteta with. And if this is any other coach, if this is Ancelotti, if this is a Jose Mourinho, we wouldn't question it. But because it's Arteta, we question every little thing that he does. So as time goes on and his choices are validated by good performances and wins and things like that, we won't question him as much. Wolfgang Grenier says, Arteta is not our main problem. Let's stop promoting people in hierarchy just because they are already at the club. Yeah. G Money Man says, I just realized you were talking about soccer. Us Americans have some catching up to do. Respect. Yeah. High Five says, Leno should not be first goalkeeper. You're apparently a Liverpool fan, so if you know anything about our goalkeeper situation, Leno is the number 1, Matty Ryan is number 2, and Runnerson is number 3, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that hierarchy. Renee, my mom, says strengthening the mentality. Exactly. The mentality needs to be right. He's trying to implement a culture, and I can't say that he did anything wrong today. People, of course, will try to say, well, Aubameyang would have finished this, Aubameyang would have finished that, but ultimately we won the game, so we did everything correct. Flalasanak says, Xhaka just said on German TV that Abba is very, very well aware of what he did wrong, but the team is behind him. He sounded not too happy with Abba, though, to be honest. Yeah, because the commentary was saying that Arteta was hurting the team and the players. Aubameyang hurt his team members. It wasn't Arteta. The rules are what they are. We have to, make sure that they're being carried out, from one player to another. So Aubameyang was at fault, not Arteta. I don't know where that commentary was coming from. Again, the commentary today, for me, the U.S. commentary was idiotic and one-sided, completely unbalanced and unfounded. Renee Black is saying, Jose blaming VAR, but admits they played poorly in the first half. They did, and I don't care about VAR, to be honest. Again, we deserved a penalty against Burnley that we didn't get, so things went our way, and we were the better team, so we deserved to win regardless if we got the penalty or not. Period. So a couple more minutes, you guys. But yeah, I think that this game was probably our best game of the season from a result standpoint, the opposition standpoint, tactically, getting 11 men on the field that were playing well. I know that Lacazette may be somebody that, depending on who you talk to, may not have had a good game or not. But ultimately, I think that this was the best case scenario for what we were doing. We've also have not been good at home. So to see us play with a dominant type of personality at home was great. And I couldn't be any happier. We got the result, and that's really all that matters in a really, really big game. So just a couple more minutes, you guys. I don't know if you guys have any more comments or questions or anything. I'm just going to keep going. And, if there's no more comments or, you guys are ready to go enjoy the rest of your evening, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, my phone is blowing up. I'm sure your guys' phones are blowing up as well. And I hope that, this gives you guys a chance to brag and, banter whoever, because it's been a long time coming. We really haven't been that great in the North London Derby, recently, so this has been a turning point. Aslan says, can we all appreciate how Cedric, my right back, was today? Defensively strong, offensively sharp, and complements our right side in general. That's something I didn't think about, was the fact that Bellerin didn't play today, and Cedric was good today. There were points where I was like, Cedric, but ultimately I think he was really strong. He only got beat one time by Lucas Moura, and the rest of the game he was pretty solid, and he's just a different type of right back. He was really good today. So, all right, you guys. And for ratings, just because I have to record the Yama podcast in about 2 seconds, I can't do like the whole player ratings and all that kind of stuff. So I apologize, but we'll bring those back next time. I just wanted to make sure that I had a chance to come and talk to you guys. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here. We won the North London Derby. We were immense. And in the comment section, let me know what you thought of this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the post-match show. We'll talk about the Olympiacos match. We'll talk about this match, and I'll have Owen Young on the show tomorrow. So make sure you're here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.